Yo, what is up, guys? I promise, yo, this is the last tier list video. This is the last tier list video. Oh man, so I just did the tier list for every premium unit, released in 2023, and I thought, I was discussing the banner units, right? And I thought, there's enough banner units, so I guess I might as well do a tier list for them too. So this is going to be every banner unit of 2023 ranked. Let me just bring the Dokkan wiki up real quick. All right. Yeah. It's not gonna be another hour and 20-minute video. I promise you. It's gonna be a lot shorter. A lot shorter. So to start off, we start off pretty bad. We have AGL, Super Saiyan 3, Gotenks, and Piccolo. I think this unit is very poor. They're not special. They're just not special. I really don't think they're special at all. They're just are they a terrible unit? No. Right? Like, they can stack defense. You could also stack attack if, you're unlucky. But you can stack defense, right? They get the buffs, the typical buffs. They have a high chance of Rainbow Orb changing, but it's just like, why a high chance, bro? He's a support unit. Let him cook. Let him cook. He recovers 5% HP per Rainbow Key Sphere. That's good. But, it being only a high chance, it's just, I don't know. 50% additional attack and 1% additional. That has a high chance of being a super when Key is 11 or less. Medium chance to dodge when Key is 12. And then that's it. They just have no... if they dodge and if they Rainbow Orb change, yeah, they could cook a little, but... I mean, look at the dodge, bro. 30%, that's it? Come on, bro. Come on. And then your links aren't very good. Over in a Flash isn't good. Innocence is very... It's not super rare, but it's kind of rare. They're a C tier unit. They're not terrible, right? I would never say they're terrible. But they are a C tier unit. Now, you know who is terrible? Ice and Nova. They're D tier, right? And here's the kicker with them. They're on GT bosses. You have to use this guy with Omega. You have to use this guy because you have no other choice. Look at this crap. I swear Omatsu hates GT bosses units. Changes AGL and STR key spheres to tech and 134% to stats. Cool. Another 134% defense when attacking with 3 or more key spheres. Okay, that's fine. 134% attack when attacking with 4 or more key spheres. Whatever. Additional super with 7 or more key spheres. Okay. And super effective against all types when the target enemy is stunned, which you'll never see in red zone fights. Okay. Super Battle Road, sure. Okay. But Super Battle Road isn't even that hard anymore. It's really not. Whereas the Gotenks at least had Rainbow Orb change, even though it's a chance. You had a low chance to dodge, but you could dodge. But they have literally nothing. They have literally nothing, bro. Awful. And this is gonna be a common theme throughout this video. Just some of these banner units were just awful, bro. They're terrible. Terrible units. And they needed to be good for GT bosses because, I'm not going to run through the category again, but I would like to remind y'all, GT bosses is probably the worst category in the game. Probably is. or bottom 5. It's terrible, man. Next, Dr. Gero and Dr. Myuu. More villain units that weren't made good. Let me look at their kit to see. I'm leaning to give them, put them in the D tier, but I forgot. It's Dr. Gero. Okay, my bad. Let me see. Okay, so they greatly raise defense. That's good, right? 150% to stats, 100% to stats when forming a super. They support target Goku, and then with 3 or more key spheres, they do 2 key and 50% of stats. That's good. That's very good. When there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, seals super attacks, seals all enemy super attacks if HP is 70% or more at the start of turn, and then 150% extra to stats and guards. That's fire. Here's the issue, and here's why they suck. Name me a difficult Goku boss. You can't. Name me. I will give y'all 5 seconds. Name me a difficult Goku boss. You can't, can you? You can't. That's the problem. You could basically cut all of this out of their passive and just this is their entire passive, basically. Which I love the support 100%. And part of it is 2 turns. I love that 100%, but what's the point of supporting if you just die? They have more going for them than Ice and Nova, but they're still really bad because they can't defend to save their life unless you're fighting a Goku. But I mean, unless you're in Super Battle Road or something, where are you seeing a Goku? Exactly. Now we get to finally a good banner unit. This Super Saiyan Vegeta, this Battle of Gods Vegeta, he's interesting as a banner unit because he's kind of like, he feels very Dokkan Fest TUR-ish, but a banner unit version. Like, he feels like a Dokkan Fest unit. He does. 3 key, 200% to stats, guards for the first 5 turns. Beautiful. Love it. 40% to stats with each attack received, up to 200%. I don't care for this mechanic anymore, but he at least has guard to soak up a little bit of that damage. I wish he got defense on a super attack. All allies, 30% attack and defense, and all enemies minus 20% attack for 2 turns after a character receives an attack 3 or more times. Like, pretty good. Pretty decent starter. And then he could transform starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle if the character receives an attack 6 or more times. Not too bad, because he should... By the time you get this fully built up, and you still have the guard, like, he should still be, like, guarding. I mean, he should still be defending very well. And you transform, he still doesn't get defense, unfortunately. But this guy hits, like, really hard. 100% to stats, high chance of a crit, and launches an additional has a high chance of being a super for 3 turns. 3 key, 200% to stats, extra 100% when forming a super. He just has guaranteed guard all throughout. 50% to stats and launches an additional that has a high chance of being a super when performing a super attack. And a chance of performing a crit plus 20% if there's a movie bosses category enemy. So he could super once. Then he can get this. Then he could get this. And then hidden potential. So 4 times. He could super 4 times. Man, if they gave him defense on this, I would give him Z tier. I would. I think this is a very good banner unit, though. He may have tapered off a little bit. This one future Red Zone aged out a lot of units. But I would still say this is a S tier banner unit. I would still say that. He's S tier. Definitely. Definitely S tier. And we're right back with the BS. We're right back. Did you think the BS was just gone? Did you forget who we're talking about? We're talking about banner units. And now we're about to talk about one of the worst ones. Frost. Releases next to AGL Dokkan Fest Kale. Frost could have been a very good help to Kale. Instead, he was a very big hindrance to Kale. I mean, raises attack and defense. Cool. I like that. Greatly raises attack and defense for his unit super. Cool. A Frieza has to be in the same turn. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, wait. Tournament participants, no good Friezas. Universe 6, no Friezas. Transformation boost. I mean, what good Friezas are on this? Golden Frieza. Okay, Golden Frieza. That's it. That's probably it, right? Yeah, nobody else. He needs his EZA. He's somewhat decent, okay-ish. And Universe Survival Saga, no good Friezas. So, okay. So you're not getting this. Okay, wonderful. You're not getting that. 80% attack and defense, 160% when performing a super. He's got, you know, the support. That's good. That's good. 30% support. I like that. Additional attack and defense and chance of performing a crit plus 10% for allies who also belong to the Universal Survival Saga category. Okay, fine. Attacked enemy minus 20% attack for 2 turns and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of being a super when there's another transformation boost ally in the same turn. Okay, fine. Plus an additional 160% attack when the target enemy is an attack down and defensive down, stunned, or sealed. Do you see the problem here? Again, they focus so much on attack that they gave him literally... He has no defensive tech at all. He has no defense. And you're not getting this ever, so you're stuck with this. And I promise you, he can super 3 times and it's still going to hurt. His link set, I don't know why he has Coward, but whatever. He's on no teams. He doesn't help Kale at all. Frost, yet again, is in the D tier. Frost is a terrible banner unit. Terrible banner unit. Now, we are back to the good banner units. STR, Krillin, and Physical Tien. Krillin, I'm just gonna, like, spoil it. Krillin is S tier. I mean, Krillin is Z tier. I'm sorry. Krillin is Z tier. He is. I think Krillin's better than Vegeta. Vegeta's very strong. Don't get me wrong. But, like, Krillin is just crazy. 150. Again, my only gripe, he has a raised defense on here. If he did that, oh my god. 150% the stats, 100% when performing a super. Support, wonderful. 2 key plus an additional 100% high chance of performing a crit for 4 turns after receiving an attack. I remember when I was first reading this guy's kit, I was scared that they gave him that. I was like, oh boy, here we go. But then 20% damage reduction outright, an additional 20% damage reduction before attacking, and then an additional 20% when facing only one enemy. So 60% damage reduction. With a lot of defensive buffs, he can go in slot 1 and be okay. He could be okay in slot 1. Obviously, build this guy full of dodge. But he could be okay in slot 1, definitely. He's very simple, but he's also very effective. I think Krillin is Z tier. Now, Tien. Tien is a very fun unit. Do I think he's better than Vegeta? No. I don't think he's better than Vegeta. He raises attack and defense on super, that's good. 3 key, 100% the stats. He launches 3 additionals, that's his thing. Each of which has a high chance of being a super, so 50% chance. 100% when performing a super attack. I wish he got defense here. 44% attack and defense within the same turn with each super attack performed. So the more supers he does, the stronger he is for that turn. And then high chance to dodge when facing only one enemy. Most events are only one enemy. You know, Red Zone, Omega, Sin, all of that. Mortal Will event or whatever. So this is fine. So he could super 5 times. Like, he can super 5 times. He'll have a lot of defense, and he has 50% chance to dodge. His link set... I mean, his link set's okay for Dragon Ball here. Dragon Ball Saga, besides Crane School. He helps out these teams. I'll give him S tier. I don't think he's a Z tier unit, but I'll give him S tier. And I'm only not giving him Z tier because... You know, you could get screwed and only super 1 time, and then it's 3 normals. And then he doesn't dodge. Like, there's a lot less RNG going into... Oh, I X'd him out. There's a lot less RNG going into Krillin than there is Tien. And that's why I have Krillin above. But Tien is incredible. Tien is amazing. Right? Next, banner units. We have Diaz and Cacao and Amand and Raisin. Amand and Raisin. Ooh, man. They could be Z tier. So they raise defense, high chance to seal, 150% to stats, blah, blah, blah. They guard and reduce damage reduction by 20% as the first attacker. Additional super as a second or third attacker. See, the thing with them is, and then they get attack and defense every time guard is activated. The thing with them is, like, you could throw them slot 1, and with the damage reduction and guard, even though it's not, like, a lot of damage reduction, it's something, right? And with the guard, the moment, well, even, you could even throw them in slot 2 for the first turn, have them build this up a little bit, then afterwards you can throw them in slot 1. But, like, they can actually hold down slot 1 for Turles. Like, they can. And because of that, I think I will give them Z tier. I think I will. Now, Diaz and Cacao, I don't know. I'm very iffy on them. They're not bad. They're definitely not bad. 2 key, 150% of stats. Launcher an additional has a high chance of being a super. Chance of performing a crit and chance of evading enemies attack plus 10% per space traveling warriors category ally attacking in the same turn. So 30%. Self-excluded, so it's only 20%. And then they have a medium chance to crit, medium chance to dodge a second or third attacker. So the dodge will bump up to 50%. That's the same proc. And then with each super performed, they get more attack and defense. You're really relying on dodge for them. They're way more RNG heavy than Amand and Raisin are. Like, 1,000,000 times more. Are they a bad unit? No. Not at all. But like, they're really stuck on Space Traveling Warriors. They're really stuck. Whereas Amand and Raisin, if we go back to Amand and Raisin, their buff for Space Traveling Warriors was just more defense and crit. Like, the defense definitely will help, 100%. But, like, Dias and Cacao need it 100 times more than they need the extra defense. So with that, Dias and Cacao, ooh, I'm between A or B. I'm between A or B. I am going to say A. They can sell you, but they can also lead you to a victory. They're very iffy. They could sell you to no end, but they could also be the reason you win. They dodge an important super. So for that, I'm gonna leave them at A. They're not as good as Vegeta or Tien. No, absolutely not. But they're solid. Next we have Tech Baby. More GT bosses. Failures, of course. Tech Baby is not bad. He's not as bad as Ice and Nova, Dr. Myuu, and Dr. Gero Frost. These guys, like, he's not that bad. He's not. But he still wasn't made good enough, right? Greatly raised attack and defense for one turn. I like it. 3 key, 150% of stats, blah, blah, blah. Attacks guaranteed to hit. Performs a crit and suddenly attack enemy when there's a pure Hyper Saiyan category enemy. You're not going to say that all that often. 3 key, 180% attack when they're a pure Saiyans category enemy. And 3 key, 180%. Like, you can see from right here, he's clearly geared towards attack, but I don't know why. He's clearly geared towards attack, but I literally could not tell you why. But at least he has big bad bosses, so like that is something. He has Metamorphosis, that is something. But he wasn't made good enough. Now, am I going to say he's better than AGL, Gotenks, and Piccolo? He's probably at their level, but this baby's more valuable than them. You're never going to run this unit. And like Ice and Nova, you would have to run them too, but like they're just so bad, they had to be down here. I am going to say... Well, the thing is, he's more consistent with his defense, though. He is more consistent with his defense. Whereas, Gotenks can either lead you to victory or get you killed. This guy, you know what you're getting. And it's more often Gotenks get you killed because he only has a 30% chance to dodge. I'm going to put Baby B. But this is like the lowest B I could possibly give. Like, this is the lowest B I could possibly give. He's not crazy at all. Next. Okay. STR Gohan. Hold on one second. I'm going to make a new category. Hold on. Okay. New category is made. Okay, he's right here. I'm just gonna go over this real quick. This STR Gohan is beyond fodder. He is one of the worst units ever released in Dokkan history. He's awful. He's terrible. He's no good. He's very bad. As a banner unit, you not raising your defense is awful. Like, greatly stacking attack for a banner unit. Oh my god. And I'm looking at his details. He has super high HP. I'm like, oh, okay, they might be cooking. Recovers HP here, and then recovers HP here. Oh, they might be cooking. Hold on. And he gets all these stat buffs. Okay. Additional attack that has a great chance of being a super. Okay, I don't mind it. And then, you know, 1 key up to 5 and 20% defense up to 100 with each attack receive. Oh, here we go. And then the support, which, okay, yeah, sure, but you, I mean, you don't. This guy gets looked at by a boss and he's dead. I don't think I've seen Gohan survive more than 2 attacks. I don't. And the reason why I think Dr. Myuu and Dr. Gero are better, they at least raise their freaking defense on Super. They at least do that. This Gohan doesn't even have the decency to do that. He could have been a very good help for Trunks. But of course, Omatsu doesn't know how to make banner units consistent. So he gets his own special category because he's awful. Right? Okay. Moving on. Almost done. Next, more mid-banner units, of course. My and physical Zamasu. My very RNG heavy. Come on, bro. What are we doing? My is very RNG heavy. It sucks because I was rooting for my. I was rooting for my girl, Mai. I mean, she has stuff here. Like, the ceiling is cool. Raise the attack and defense, that's cool. Damage reduction by 20% when forming a super. Okay, so she's slot 2 with slot 3. That's fine. She's a banner unit. And then 30% damage reduction within the same turn every time the character performs a super attack 2 times in battle. Up to once within a turn. So, she has an additional that has a medium chance of being a super, right? The thing with her, I would almost say you build her additional and dodge. Don't go full dodge, maybe. Well, I don't know. You might have to go full dodge. Even with the 50% damage reduction, I don't know if she'll survive some of these hits. She'll tank the normals, for sure. She has support. And then, she gets, she gives extra buffs to those who belong in the Future Saga category, which is good. And she does all this rainbow orb changing. And then 3 key, went to all superclass allies when HP is 50% or less at the start of turn. I don't know why that's once only. Mai is like ridiculously RNG heavy. It's insane. Mai can look like an S, maybe even a fringe Z tier banner unit, or she could look like a D tier banner unit. So I think the only fair thing is to put her right in the middle at B. She's better than Baby, but she's also way more inconsistent than Baby. Now, Zamasu might be D tier, bro. Zamasu is, like, pretty bad. Zamasu is, like, really bad. Really bad. If there's a superclass enemy at the start of the character's turn, intro and 50% attack and defense, and chance to evade plus 20% for the rest of the battle, that's cool. There are almost no hard superclass enemies, though, so what does that mean? 150% of stats, and an additional 50%, and chance to evade plus 30 when forming a super. So, he's basically going to have a medium chance to dodge. Okay, whatever. 1 key up to 4, plus an additional attack and defense plus 50% up to 200 at the start of each turn when there is a superclass enemy. Okay, so, get rid of that. Get rid of this. Extreme class allies, 30% attack and defense. I mean, sure, I like support. 20% attack and defense and chance of performing a crit for characters who belong to the Future Saga category. And then Future Saga category allies 2 key for 2 turns after evading an attack. He's very bad. I mean, I suppose if we ever get a superclass enemy, he can go up to maybe B tier. That's as high as I'll put him up. I don't think Zamasu's as bad as these guys, no. Dr. Myuu and Dr. Gero, like, they're actually just a L. They just get you killed. These guys have no chance. They get you killed. And Frost is an unbelievable L as well. I think Zamasu's C tier. You could argue D, sure, but Zamasu's better than these 3. He's better than them. Alright, almost done. Next we have... What are their names? Rabanra, Zarbuto, and I don't know these people, bro. I don't know. Zarbuto, Zerloin, Rabanra, and Zarbuto. Okay. They're mid as well, unfortunately. No defense. Again, I don't know why. 2 key, 150% per power wishes or tournament participants category allies on the team. It's pretty good. I don't know if that stacks if they're on both. I'm not sure. 100% when forming a super, and launches an additional, has a high chance of being a super when there's another power wishes category ally in the same turn. That's fine. Super effective against all types and started from the 4th turn. Disables the enemy's action once within the turn, once only, when there's another tournament participants category ally. Okay. I mean, that is defensive tech. That is good. Everything else, like, they're really just stats. Now, they can get to somewhat high stats, somewhat okay stats, but if you have nothing else, it's not really going to matter. Yeah. It's not really going to matter. I think they are also C tier. They're not as good as Mai can get you out of a situation. She can put you in a situation, but she can also get you out of it. Baby, you have to use on GT bosses, right? Like, he's valuable on GT bosses, and he's not terrible. He could tank some normals, right? He could tank some normals. But yeah. Zabanra, Zerline, and whatever their names are. Yeah. C tier. Alright, 2 more beta units left. I'm not gonna count these tiers units. I'm not gonna count them. Now, here's where we start cooking up. Right? Evil 21. I do not care. She is Z tier. She is fire. She is fire. Evil Android 21 goes perfect with Dokkan Fest Android 21. She goes perfect. Right? Where is she? Right here. She'll greatly raises attack and defense for 4 turns. That already puts her A tier. Already. Or maybe even S tier. Intro. I like the intro, by the way. 120% attack and defense. And great chance of launching additional super for 4 turns. That's good. I like that. 70% chance. And high chance after the 5th turn. Alright. 3 key, 210% to stats. Additional 90% when attacking. 21% damage reduction when facing only one enemy. So you're pretty much only going to use her there. So that's fine. High chance of performing a crit when facing 2 or more enemies. Performs a crit when HP is 60% or less at start of turn, or if the target enemy's HP is 30% or below when attacking. And then recovers 30% HP with each final blow delivered. Now, I mean, pretty much forget this, right? Forget this. She gets a damage reduction. Not a lot, but it helps. She can super 3 times, right? You can attack, then she can get this, and then hit a potential. Greatly raising attack and defense each time. And this banner unit does damage, bruh. She does very good damage, bruh. She's incredible. I love this banner unit. I love her. She goes great with Dokkan Fest 21. She goes great with her. Amazing duo. And then the last one, Nappa and Vegeta. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I really forgot they came out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Where's Nappa and Vegeta? That's Nappa / Vegeta. Okay, now where's Nappa and Vegeta? I'm sorry, Vegeta and Nappa. I'm sorry. So raise attack and defense for 1 turn, calls Supreme, and greatly lowers attack and defense. I mean, let's go for Super Battle Road. And some red zone stages can be attack lowered and defensive lowered. Okay, that's fine. 150% to stats. Additional attack plus 80% forming a super. Fine. 1 key up to 4. 30% to stats up to 120% with each attack performed. It's okay. At least they don't have to receive an attack. They just have to do an attack. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super. It's fine. Gets them those stat buffs quicker. Super effective. They didn't need that. When the target enemy is an attack down or defensive down status. Not often you're going to see that, but whatever. Like I said, some red zone stages, but not the hard ones. 30% damage reduction as the 3rd attacker in a turn. That's good. I like that. Guards all attacks when there is another Pure Saiyan or Terrifying Conquerors category ally attacking in the same turn. Okay. I like them. I do like them. You can get this. You could definitely get either of these. These are easy. And I feel like they're not so much of a detriment that you wouldn't run them. They have the 30% damage reduction. Like, it's a banner unit. They're basically going to be a floater anyway. They have the 30% damage reduction, right? And then they have the guaranteed guard. And then they raise attack and defense. That's good. And then when they just attack perform, they get this. They buff that up. I am definitely going to give them S tier. I don't think he's touching them. No. He could. Wow. Wait. No, they could. Oh, man. You know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to put them Z tier. Wow. I am going to put them Z tier. I think the combination of damage reduction, pretty good stat, defense, and guard, like, that's insane. You can't beat that. But yep, those are the banner units of 2023 ranked. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of my ranking. So I'm just looking through. I agree with the Z tier. S tier is fine. I can move Dias and Cacao down or up, or I can leave them there. I think I'm just gonna leave them there. I think they're fine. Baby could go down, but I feel like Baby is better than these three. He's not better than Mai, though. These three I think are fine. Zamasu is definitely better than these three. These three suck, and STR Gohan might be the worst unit ever thought of, devised, any word y'all could think of. Fits his description. But yep, that is all the banner units of 2023 ranked on a tier list. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of my tier list. How would you guys rank this? Let me know. Like and subscribe for more Dokkan Battle content such as this. I promise y'all this is the last tier list. We're done after this. It's going to go up a little bit later. I'm going to catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace. I love y'all.